This is Vince Marino Plumbing LLC in Pittsburgh. Today is April 4th, 2024. We redid this Galaxy, older Galaxy, Slantman GXH 100. It's a 300,000 GXH-300, 300,000 BTU. I didn't put this in. This was a mess. This is part of the pipe that I removed. I didn't have time to do a footage on this. This place had this massive boiler feed, and it was a mess. So all the return lines were clogged. As you can see here, I redid the wet returns. It's a two-pipe steam system. The water wasn't coming back, and apparently whoever was working here didn't know what the heck was going on, but the owner opened this up. This was all replaced. So this was all 1-inch copper I took out of here. They had 1-inch copper here. I put new drains here. I may have to do the vent, and I put a washout on each end to flush this out. So you can hear the boiler feeding. It was 1-inch copper, and put 1.25 inch, the way it's supposed to be. You only have 100,000, I think, of wet return on a 1-inch pipe. I don't have my chart in front of me, but typically 1.25 inch is the way to go. So this comes around. We redid the header here. Well, actually I did. This was originally bullheaded here. So all this pipe was redone. And this boiler had the number 67 McDonald Miller. So I used this 724 safeguard. It comes with this block. I caught this off a video from the people in Maryland, which I didn't even know this was made. So that was a good educational video on the 724. But I used both taps here instead of putting the 400, because this comes with the low water cutoff, and actually this top one turns it on when the water gets up high enough. As you can see, it's getting there. This had to fill about 3-4 cycles. Now this kit comes with one of these generic solenoids. So I didn't want to use it because I'm going to leave it here. I didn't want to use it, so I included the McDonald Miller. I like these. I seen somebody on one of the videos commenting, talking, excuse me, it's been a long morning, about wrapping these probes with Teflon. Well, that's inaccurate information. If you read the safeguard directions, you can use Teflon on these, especially if you're screwing into an old borer that might have corrosive pipe dope would leak. You're only supposed to go around one time with the Teflon. That Blue Monster wouldn't be a good Teflon to use on these, but as you can see, this is working. The low water is feeding. This doesn't have a light. That's one of the downsides about it. Maybe hydro level can do that, but this is a kit to retrofit if you don't have the tap for the boiler for a probe type safe water, low water cutoff. Okay, this is Vince Marino Plumbing LLC in Pittsburgh. Today is April 8th, 2024. This is a older Galaxy Slantman steam boiler I retrofitted. I didn't have time to take the pictures of this mess, but I'm gonna pull one up. It's gonna be on my YouTube channel. If you can see this, this is some of the mess. This is how it was. Okay, they had this, if you see this, with a borer feed, which is right here. It was not necessary. So I'll have these pictures on my website and my YouTube channel when you view this. So what happened here was these return lines were clogged. I replaced them. And the main area was right here. This was all clogged. Now, this is part of the old line right here, which blew out up here. Okay. So I repiped this according to the specs. I was able to get a high supply nozzle, higher than the 18 inches. I believe it's about 20 inches. I kept it 22 inches. So we get nice dry steam. This is the equalizer. The water supply I put on is on a wet return. This is a two-pipe system because that tempers the water. I believe the boiler manufacturers don't know that putting the cold water directly into this boiler, steam boiler, can cause shock, even though that this feeder is delayed. So we put the backflow here, atmospheric, residential dual backflow, added the McDonald Miller. Now this kit I saw from a guy, which I watch his channel in Maryland, Silent Steam Team, which is a big help. I didn't even know they made this. This is a Safeguard Hydro Level 724. What they had here was a number 67 on this boiler, which I didn't want to use. The other one was corroded because this was off for a while. Yeah, they were waiting to get this fixed. Nobody could fix it. This was the original installer that's out of business. He put that boiler feed on here, which was right over here, and used to dump right into this, and the water just went up into the main because the condensate wasn't coming back, so they added water. It was wet steam and I guess a lot of banging. So anyway, this is similar to the 400. All the terminals are the same. You wire this with a power supply. Now, you got to make sure if you're working with this S8610U, I believe it is. It's the S8610U continuous retry. This works on a lot of modules. Your 24 volt does not go to 24 volt. It goes to thermostat. And this works with the feeder and your thermostat limit. You take a 24 volt in, you have your feeder connections. P2 is hot. P2 goes in series with your pressure control and thermostat and comes back and operates. Now, this is the second pressure control that I got from Residio. I had one on my truck. The new one was defective. It wouldn't come on at all. I've been experiencing that these are out of calibration. These have to be raised to 2 for it to come on. Excuse me. So I put this on, which it works. I want to see if it shuts off at 1.5 pounds. I've been having some problems with 0.5 to 1 because this is out of whack. The Silent Team down in Maryland, Steam Team, has a video on this, how to adjust these. I'm giving them some credits because their videos are very good. Now I'm doing a test on this combustion. So what happens here is this boiler has a draft problem. I'll be right back. On cold startups. So what happens is we get a heavy backdraft. Now we were working this last They took this off and tied these together. I added a new spill switch for safety. So if you shut this off, okay, so this will kick back. And we're gonna wait a couple seconds here. This is pretty clean. This boiler is, I believe, from the early 2000s. There's a 2003 label on here. You can see my carbon monoxide went up high. I started it too quick. Okay, so we're gonna turn this on. On cold startups, this went up to like 400 or above 400 parts per million. Okay, so I'm getting 3 parts in here. So in the meantime, what occurred here was this boiler, I'm going to walk outside. They raised this vent. This is a 9-inch flue draft hood here, 9-inch. The idiot, he reduced it to 8-inch double wall. You can see here, this boiler used to be over here in the chimney, and they had a problem with the chimney. It cracked. It was, I guess, the original boiler here. This was a coal boiler, I guess. So they ran this out, and I'll show you. Set my timer for 12 minutes. So
12 minutes, counting down.
it was above ground. I'll show you where it was. So this is a way I do it to hold this mess. I tie here with the unistrut, and now how this works is this, you have to blow this down once a week or twice. Okay, so this upper level, there's two probes here. I use the two probes. The upper one shuts the feeder off. The bottom one is your low water cutoff. So if you take some water out of here, blow this, and it doesn't sense water, it'll shut the boiler. So this is a good retrofit for electronic low water. Now, we're running this. This is the slant fin design. I put the pigtail here, and you got your gauge here on the pigtail, and so we're gonna do the I'm gonna heat this to make sure this cuts the burner circuit. This is a Steam 250. Okay, the spill switch cut off the board. Now, this is a manual reset, see? So it has to cool down. Do that. These little plugs, I got them at Home Depot. Your draft should be a minimum of 1.5, but preferably 2. We'll put this last. So this should be cold. You reset it. See, there's no draft. It went down. That's no good. It's sucked down. You can see here we had a very low draft. About a 3/4 to 1. So we're gonna fix that for her next fall because we only have a couple weeks here left. The month of April. Okay, so in the meantime, I'm going to finish the protocol for this outside and show you the vent. How they did it real quick. Now, I've been working here off and on for a while. They were using space heaters in the fireplace. So I got the job in February. I don't know which way to walk.
We'll now begin the put.
So we're walking around here. That's the gas main here, 2-inch. This board was apparently big. The older one. Now, this is a way that these incompetent people did this. This is the water heat. So this is the 8-inch double wall. And the way the owner told me, this head just came to here. So this is where they raised it. So we're gonna put in the late spring, summertime, we're gonna add another 4 foot to that to get it above the window. Okay, so you can see here, that's as high as they raised this. Now you imagine, and they used 290s instead of making this a 45. So it doesn't need a power venter, it just needs to be raised in a barometric damper to control the draft. But that's the rain cap, so you're talking maybe a total rough estimate about 15 feet from the first window. So that's what the kind of work that you can encounter. Like quoting Dan Holohan, I watched this video, anybody can work in America. So okay, you can close this window. I'm gonna finish this and wrap this up here. Excuse me, I got so many things going here. But this was a simple fix, and the guy added the boiler feed on here to pump water. So they were making a hot water system, I guess. But all right, so in the meantime, this is the job. All they needed. You can see my gauge is moving. It's going to get to 1 pound, pound and a half. Was to repair the wet returns and flush it out. I'm going to specifically tell this lady, her husband, that this has to be blown down once a week. Okay, so in the meantime, you know what, let me do this draft test so you can see what I'm doing here. So we got less than 1. We're gonna do the protocol. So by simply, I can't move the camera. And I don't want to waste a lot of tape. By simply covering half of this mechanism. We're raising this enough to where it's going to get the draft. Okay, so we'll take care of that on another day here. Late in so this is Vince Marino Plumbing LLC in Pittsburgh. If you have any hydronic, steam boiler, especially steam heating systems, and you can't get the steam to work right and can't find anybody in Pittsburgh, give me a call. Vince Marino Plumbing LLC.com is my website. And this is a fix on a borer that was installed incorrectly by the installer. This big tank here was not necessary. And you'll see in the picture when I post this, they had this going with a T here right into the top of the borer. So all that water was pumping in. And this size tank had to be done at least halfway to the basement if they were going to use this. But the culprit was the junction here of the return lines that was clogged. So in the meantime, I'm going to sign off. Arrivederci until the next adventure.